Now we'll bring in Freddie T. Fred, how are you, friend?
Morning, Fred.
I'm good. I hear you talking about the speed trap. You know those guys got quotas to hit the beginning and the end of the month.
Just trying to help out the guys. Endorsed by the police. JSO told us we're allowed to tell them. We just want people to be safe, Fred. Want people to be safe and also save you a few bucks.
Sir.
Also save you a few bucks.
Indeed.
Fred, Jacksonville was in panic mode. We were in panic mode. I was out there Saturday. I'm telling you, Fred, I've been to a lot of practices in the NFL. It was a bad passing day. Bad passing day, bad catching day, bad offensive day. And, again, this is all we got to watch right now. We don't have a game to break down. We don't have a season to start. We got practice. So you can either calm our nerves or you can tell us that we should expect more from a quarterback who's getting $275 million in a revamped receiver group, or are they just working through things? Is it just training camp, the defense ahead of the offense? There's a lot of things at work here when we break down training camp. So help us understand from a player's perspective.
I think you said a lot of it there, Jeff. There's a lot of things that's early. Expectations are sky high, considering how much money they just paid Trevor. And not only that, expectations are high every year this time of camp or this time of year. You expect those guys to come in and seamlessly, make plays and look a certain way, but it's not always that way. I think it's another opportunity for them to develop identity and improve. They're going to have these bad days, but as many bad days as they have, they're going to have about equally amount of good days. And then it will just create a certain type of mental, their mental callus will improve, and it'll make them a better team for the long run.
Time out. Listen, we go way too far back. They say we sound alike, but that was Dan.
Dang,
this is Dan.
Claimed it real
Jeff.
quick.
Jeff threw his hands in the air like a celebration.
There ain't no I in team, Fred.
No.
I mean,
that's my guy, Freddie T. I'm not allowing it. I won't allow it.
My bad. It's been early. I'm fresh off a flight. I get up at 4 o'clock almost every morning.
That's fine.
Somewhere different this time of the year, making his training camp tour. Somehow I'm in.
Where are you?
I hope you're happy. See what's happened. They made the guy explain now.
Camp right now.
Which one?
You can make it right by retweeting it, Fred. Retweet it to him. That'll make it
He's at Commanders camp.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Someone needs to be. Right. Fred, I have a question to you from a player standpoint. You've got a 4-year veteran teammate. Has there ever been a time in practice where he's done something you've gone, oh, my God, he's not as good as I thought he was?
A 4-year veteran
Right. I'm just saying. My point being this, I'm being somewhat cynical, but, I mean, look, there's no one on the Jaguars team inside the organization, either player or coach, who sees Trevor Lawrence come out of the gate slow in training camp and actually thinks, oh, gosh, he's no good, or, oh, gosh, he's getting worse, or do they?
It's going to always be more microscopic and magnified to the quarterback position. I mean, there are guys on certain sides of the ball. You tell yourself, there's always someone better than that player in the NFL. There's a pretty good chance that there's someone better at that position. Even if your guy's the guy, maybe you have a Stephon Diggs, for example, when you looked at Josh Allen. There were times when he said, man, he ain't making no plays. He probably didn't say he was awful, but he said we can make more plays, and they got into a few situations. But, no, I think as it relates to Trevor specifically, getting this type of money, a lot of people felt it was too early. A lot of them felt that it wasn't warranted. And now the expectations are going to follow all those different conversations. And if he throws a dud, obviously that's going to be magnified. If he throws a beautiful ball, no one's going to say nothing. They're going to say that's what we expect from Trevor. Right. So I think you have to not be so microscopic and let it just kind of play out. At the end of the day, he's going to be graded on wins, playoff wins, and championships, not training camp throws.
Hey, Freddie T, this is D. Murph here. I wanted to ask you about camp because whenever I would get to camp, I was wanted to know, when did you start really ramping up? Because, the offense hasn't looked as clean as everybody would want the first couple of days, but it's the first week of camp, and we weren't ever concerned in spring training for me until maybe like the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we wanted to hit the ground running in the season. What did it look like for you heading into training camp?
I think personally for me, I hit the ground running every day. I think day one I was ready to go. But my job is I just run the ball. There are some cuts I can make. I can be crisp here, looks here and there, but I never really had an issue. I felt like day one I was always tuned in, and then as you go, you just improve. It's a gradual improvement, and the same thing for your teammates and the guys around. I think the communication positions, the positions that have to communicate a lot, like the line, we put more emphasis on the offensive line and the quarterback. Or if a receiver is just having a bad day, dropping the pass. But collectively as a unit, based on who was the coach, they'll say, oh, we're okay, no panic, not time to panic. But after that first week, you're tired of going against each other. You guys know each other so well. Those how you look can be a bit skewed, because you're so used to each other. And not until you get an opportunity to play against another team, you can really gauge where you are by playing someone else. And even then, you still realize in your mind it's still early. Like, you can go out there during spring training and play a few exhibition matches and say, you know what, I'm still in the field for the season, and it's never time to panic this time of the year. Yeah. So, but that third preseason game, you want to make sure you're firing. Well, perhaps back in the day it was the third. Yeah. Kind of now it's around the second preseason game. But no, I think these guys, I'm excited for them this year. I expect them to go out there and do well. I do expect Trevor to go out there and play well, as we all do. But again, few days in camp, certainly no need to panic.
Fred, I got a question about the running backs, and I got a feeling, Fred, I got this young Etienne kid who is an explosive player, and I think the Jags have realized that, and he's in his fourth year. Now, he didn't play his first year, second year, third year, both over 1,000 yards. They're talking about getting him the ball more in passing situations, too. Fred, I got a feeling they're going to ride this young man a lot this year. A lot of touches as long as we can keep him healthy going into year 4. They didn't do much behind him. They got Bigsby back, and they got Dearness Johnson back as well. So they didn't really make any changes at all in the running back room. But I think that they are going to have him under contract here. So I think they're going to use Etienne a whole heck of a lot this year. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from camp.
Yeah, I think they'll. That is the feel that I have as well. I mean, he has back-to-back 1,000-yard season. Mm-hmm. He's shown he can average, with the best up there in the league, averages over close to 4.5 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. Just under 500 attempts on the season. Mm-hmm. He's still fresh. He didn't play his rookie season. So technically that's three years in, 500 carries, 175 carries per season. Yeah. That's on just the averages. So I think he wants those carries. He wants to welcome those opportunities because this is for him, this is an opportunity to go and get an extension. Right. It's an opportunity to get paid. He's a guy who, you look at what they did with Tyson Campbell. Mm-hmm. After we had a conversation, a week later they announced they were extending Tyson, mm-hmm. which some believe that was also premature, but they locked him in for the future. Same thing with Etienne. I know it's not a lot of urgency to pay the running backs, but if he goes out there this year and plays well, yes, they're going to want to rip up that last season, or I think it's maybe 2 seasons. They'll probably still have him left under contract. And get him paid. So they'll take pressure off Trevor if they give him the ball more. Mm-hmm. And no need to worry about the guys behind it. Dearness is going to he's a role player. He has his role, his passing situation. Tank, if he doesn't put the ball on the ground, he'll have an opportunity to get more carries. Collectively as a unit, they have to just compete as if they don't know who's going to get those carries. We all know Travis will get the bulk of them. But I believe from a coaching standpoint, to take pressure off of Trevor, they got to get the ball to his college teammate more.
Pross, Fred's 25th all-time in attempts, 2,534 carries.
Believable.
Woo!
Yeah, even higher in yards.
Woo!
Hey, Fred, this exhibition season, the preseason opens officially, I guess, Thursday with the Hall of Fame game. This time next week, Jags will be in game week. I'm just curious, you as a player, how you viewed the preseason games. Did you think they were necessary? Did you want to or liked to play in the preseason games, or would you have rather not? And did that opinion change from your first year into the league until your last?
I was excited to play the third preseason game. The first preseason game, not so much.
Okay.
I mean, let me take that back. The first preseason game, I was only excited knowing I was a series, maybe 4 or 5 plays, but at least it was against someone else. I was so tired of hitting my own teammates and those guys teeing off on you. I just wanted to kind of break the monotony of having to hit my own guys and play someone else. The preparation part of it, putting on the pads, getting your uniform, looking in the mirror, making sure you're fresh and ready to go, knowing it was only a few snaps. That was exciting. The next one, you build up on that momentum. Second preseason game, you'll get a few more snaps, maybe 2 or 3 series as a starter, and then you're out. Then you can go out there and root and support the young guys and figure out who your teammates are going to be. The third preseason game was always special in terms of exhibition preseasons because that was the big dress rehearsal back in the day. You knew you're going to play at least 3 quarters or 2.5 quarters, play the entire first half as it's a real game. So you're talking about preparation. You're working on your routine that you'll take into the season. And that always felt great to me, and I got so excited for that one because I wanted to show up. I wanted to have a big run and maybe cut my play time in half and let coaches know I was ready to go. So that one excited me. The last game, I just wanted to go out there and root for the young guys and see who would be my teammate, going into the season. So I enjoyed playing. I missed the game so much. Now even in retirement, I just started missing the game. Upon my initial retirement, I just missed the scheming and the game planning. But now, today, I miss being able to go out there and actually, take 150 or 75 because I know I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I miss it even more because I know I can't do it. When I first retired, I knew I still could do it. Yeah. I didn't miss that part.
Immortal like the rest of us now, Fred. Immortal like the rest of us. Back to the good old days, right? Yeah.
All right, my man. Well, we appreciate you as always. Great catching up with you and looking forward to getting into game action and seeing what this team can do and